Life is going to throw its challenges at you. That's a guarantee. The real question is what happens next. Winning isn't about dodging every hit. It's about having the mental strength to take it and stay on your feet. And here's the good news. That strength isn't something you're born with. It's a skill. And today, we're going to break down exactly how you can forge a mind of steel.
So, when I say mental strength, what's the first thing you picture? Is it some stoic, unfeeling robot who just plows through pain without even a wince? Yeah, that's the common image, but it's not quite right. Real strength isn't about being an unbreakable rock. It's more like being a well-tempered sword, flexible when it needs to be, but incredibly durable and sharp.
And that brings us to this whole idea of the steel mind. Now, the most important word on this slide is forged. This isn't some personality trait you either have or you don't. It's a mindset that you build deliberately, piece by piece through practice. It's all about being able to manage your emotions, to bounce back when you get knocked down, and to actually do the things you know you need to do. So how do we actually get there? Well, we're going to break it all down into 3 core pillars. First, we're going to talk about taming your initial reactions. Then we'll dive into how to build that genuine bounce-back resilience. And finally, we'll get into what it means to act with real discipline. This is our roadmap. And you'll see these aren't just separate ideas. They all feed into each other, creating this powerful, self-reinforcing cycle. Okay, let's jump right into pillar 1, taming your reactions. This is really the foundation of everything. I mean, think about it. Before you can take on any challenge out there in the world, you first have to get a handle on your own internal world. We're talking about those knee-jerk responses to stress, to frustration, to everything. Let's make this real. Picture this. Someone cuts you off in traffic. That's the stimulus. Your immediate gut reaction might be to lean on the horn and get furious. That's the response. But right between those two things, for just a fraction of a second, there's a space, a little pause. That tiny little moment, that's where all your power is. Choosing to take a deep breath instead of giving in to road rage, that is the first step to forging your mind.
So how do we actually do this in the moment? It's pretty simple, really. First, just acknowledge the feeling. Say to yourself, okay, I'm feeling angry right now. Don't judge it, don't fight it, just name it. Second, and this is absolutely crucial, you have to create that space by pausing. Just one deep breath before you say or do anything. And third, try to reframe the story you're telling yourself. Instead of, that guy is a total jerk, maybe try, wow, maybe they're in a huge hurry for an emergency. See, you just took back control.
All right, moving on to our second pillar, building resilience. So if taming your reactions is all about managing that immediate moment, resilience is about what happens after. It's how you get back up after you've been knocked down, and more importantly, how you learn to get up even stronger than you were before.
This whole forging metaphor is just so perfect because it's completely true. Nobody ever got stronger by living an easy, comfortable life. Resilience isn't just about gritting your teeth and enduring the hard times. It's about letting those hard times actually transform you. Every single setback, every failure is a chance to stick the metal back in the fire and hammer it into something better.
And here you can really see the difference in action. A brittle mindset sees a failed project and thinks, well, that's it, I'm a failure, it's final. A steel mindset looks at the exact same situation and thinks, okay, that didn't work, what can I learn from this? It's not failure, it's feedback. One mindset runs away from challenges, the other one actually leans into them because it knows that's where the growth is.
So how do you actually build this stuff? Well, believe it or not, it starts with a little self-compassion. Beating yourself up after you make a mistake just makes you weaker. So instead, try treating yourself like you would a good friend. Then shift your focus to only the things you can actually control, not the final outcome, but your effort, your attitude. And finally, start actively seeking out small, manageable challenges. It's like lifting weights for your mind. And that brings us to our third and final pillar. Act with discipline. Look, managing your emotions and being resilient are incredible internal skills, but mental strength doesn't mean a whole lot if it doesn't actually translate into action in the real world. Discipline. Discipline is the bridge that connects your strong mindset to your actual results. Let's just completely reframe what we think discipline is for a second. It has nothing to do with punishment or forcing yourself to do miserable things. It's really a form of deep self-respect. It's about making your daily actions line up with your biggest goals. Choosing to go to the gym instead of hitting the snooze button isn't a penalty, it's a vote. It's you casting a vote for the person you want to become. And please, don't think discipline has to be these huge, heroic acts. The real magic, the real power is in consistency. It's this simple idea of just trying to get 1% better every single day. One tiny improvement, one small promise you keep to yourself. Day in, day out. The compound effect of that kind of consistency, that is what forges real, unbreakable strength over time.
So, how do we make this practical? First, you got to define your core principles. What do you actually stand for? That becomes your compass. Second, focus on creating systems, not just setting goals. A goal is, I want to run a marathon. A system is, I will put on my running shoes and go for 20 minutes right after my morning coffee. The system is what actually gets you to the goal. And a great little trick here, do the hardest thing on your list first thing in the morning, before your willpower starts to fade. Okay, so let's pull this all together. We have taming your reactions, building resilience, and acting with discipline. These three pillars aren't just separate concepts. They work together, constantly reinforcing each other. Being disciplined makes you more resilient. Being resilient helps you tame your reactions. It's a cycle, continually forging your mind into something stronger, sharper, and more refined.
And look, if there is only one thing that you take away from all of this, please let it be this. Mental strength is not some prize from the genetic lottery. It is a skill. It's just like learning to play the piano or speak a new language. It is forged through practice, through patience, and through perseverance. And it is absolutely available to anyone who is willing to put in the work.
So that leaves us with one last and honestly most important question. This isn't about some massive overnight life change. It's about one small choice. So I want you to think. What is one small thing you will do this week to practice just one of these pillars? How will you start to forge your mind?